everyone, welcome or welcome back. This video is just about some quick updates to my journal system. Last time I made a video I was in this B6 stalogy as my primary journal, and here it is with its cover taken off, and I finished it. I actually ended up finishing it on the 31st of August, so I was able to start the new month in a new notebook, which was quite nice. I enjoyed it, and I like the stalogy notebooks a lot. So I'm pleased that it's finished. I feel at this time of the year, well, I have a lot of new planners and journals that are probably going to come into my collection. I think there are going to be 4 in total. And I like at this time of year maybe to clean out in a way, or to finish up some notebooks that I have languishing, just so I don't feel overwhelmed with what I have and I don't feel like there's too much stuff. And too many things and just not enough time to sort of write and appreciate all of them. So I have switched some things around now that this one is ready to be archived. I will probably keep it out for a little bit longer. It takes a while for me to archive my journals. I think I just sort of leave them a little bit in a kind of limbo so I can, I don't know, properly say goodbye to them. I take my journal with me everywhere and I write everything in it, so it's not like when I finish the notebook I feel like I'm ready to let it go completely. I feel like I need a little bit of time where it's nearby to kind of say goodbye to it. I know that sounds very strange, but that's how I feel. Maybe some of you feel the same way too. So 2 new changes have happened in the spirit of, again, trying to finish up a couple of things before I bring the new into my collection. This is just the book that I'm reading, sorry. I will talk about this first. This is my Leuchtturm1917. This is a new colour that came out for 2024. It's like a deep blue colour. It's really pretty. And I have it in the Fergus folio from Chic Sparrow. This is just a gridded notebook. I love Leuchtturm. I love the paper. I think that it's so pretty. And I enjoy fountain pens on this paper. I also really enjoy page numbers on this paper. Because you can kind of see where you are in the notebook and it makes it easier to commonplace and index. I was commonplacing in field notes for quite a while, but I've switched to Leuchtturm for a little bit. And so yeah, I've mainly been commonplacing in here. These are the inks that I did a video on. But yeah, look, mainly commonplacing. Another ink palette I was thinking about, some evening pages, some more journaling. This is the Ammon's Haunting Case. I don't know if anybody has seen the Deliverance on Netflix. If you haven't, the first half is really good. The acting is incredible in it. Monique and Glenn Close, and I forget the main actress's name. I'll put it in the description box below, but she was also fantastic. As a horror film, it's a little bit too on the nose for me, but I still enjoyed it. Anyway, it's based on actually a real haunting, so I had commonplaced a bit about that. And again, more journaling, commonplacing about fairy tales, more journaling, and this is where I am now. So I've been using this as kind of a supplement / commonplace book for the main setup, which is my traveler's notebook setup. I have this Hobonichi Weeks tucked in here. I've spoken about the Hobonichi Weeks before. This is last year's and I'm still using up the back pages. I do sort of to-do lists and things like that. Nothing very exciting in this notebook. But I like to have it because when I'm doing morning pages, I often think of things that I want to do that day, and it's nice to have just my planner to jot them down. The main thing I'm using is this traveler's notebook. This is the olive cover, which I think might be my favourite leather from them. And I have 2 inserts in here. I actually have a clear plastic wallet from Travelers. This is Courtney Diaz, her printable, and this is just a printout of an illustration from Wind in the Willows with Toad driving down the road in his stolen motor car. Yeah, I've decorated it various things, probably from Pinterest and places like that. There's Gandalf walking across the Shire. The first insert I have is I'm doing morning and evening pages in here. This is a gridded craft notebook, and it's from Baumkuchen in California. I have a couple of things to say about this notebook, actually. I like the craft paper. I think it's fun to write on. I think it's nice for me for an insert like this, because I'm not going to be into this insert for an extremely long time, but I don't think I would want to write sort of a big, thick notebook filled with this paper. I would have to spend a lot of time dipping in and out of it. You can use fountain pens in this notebook, and I have done, but the paper is quite fibrous, and I felt almost like the fibers were getting stuck on my nibs while I was writing. So I switched it, and now I just use a Uni Jetstream, so just like a basic kind of ballpoint pen in it. And the other thing I will say about it, actually the other two things I'll say, these are the only other two criticisms. One, things don't really seem to stick down that well on it. They seem to peel up a little bit, like you can see there. The other thing I would say about it is the dots, and this might be a me and my eyes kind of thing. The dots can actually be kind of hard to see sometimes, and that's why often at night I will actually do my evening pages in my Leuchtturm, because the dots are clear to me, whereas the dots here aren't, and my writing seems to go a bit askew sometimes. Other than that, it's been quite fun to be in here. I'm in a real writing jag at the moment, so I don't think I will be in here very long. I've only got like 12 more pages left, but it's enjoyable. And like I said, I've ordered new planners for next year, Hobonichi and sterling ink. I've actually gone with A6, which I'll show in another video. But because of that, I'm kind of keen to maybe use up one or two more things. And then the second insert, there's a field notes tucked in here that I'm also using up. This is a traveler's notebook wallet with some stickers and fussy cut PET tapes in here. But the main thing I want to talk about is this insert. So I've had this for a while, and it's the undated horizontal insert. So if you want to see a blank spread, it just has Monday to Sunday, and you can write the date in here, and you can write sort of like the month and the year up here. I got this in 2022 when I was thinking about getting a Hobonichi Weeks. I wanted to see if it would work for me, because before that I had just been sort of like a monthly spread kind of person. But things changed in 2022. I kind of changed my job up a little bit, and weekly spreads were like more, I needed more detail basically than the monthly spread. So I got this because I wanted to see if the Hobonichi Weeks layout would work for me. And so I used it. I didn't use these pages. It has kind of like a yearly tracker in the front. I used it as a planner for a while in October that year. And this is quite similar to how I use the weeks. So I have sort of like meeting on the side, and then, you know, notes about clients and to-do lists and that kind of thing. And I did that for a while in here. And then, this is another thing that I use this planner for. If I'm going away, mainly to stay at my dad's and look after his dog for him, but if I am going somewhere, I'll often take this planner with me as just the only insert or the main insert that I want, because I have a 5-year Hobonichi, and I'll sort of jot down the days and what happened, almost like an entry for the Hobonichi that day. That means when I get back home, I don't have to spend so much time trying to catch up and trying to remember what I was doing. Instead, I can just sort of copy it out, which works well for me. And then this is NaNoWriMo 2022, which I did. I sort of was tracking in here. One thing I like to do for sort of academic essays or writing in general is when I'm done writing for that day, I like to do sort of the next 3 things that I want to write, just to help me the next morning. It's always hard when you start out, so if you kind of have an idea of where you're going, I find that's quite helpful. So yeah, these are all NaNoWriMo, and then I think this was when the week started, or close to when the week started, and I actually switched into the weeks at that point. Then I went and was using this for memory keeping and just in general. I don't really know what I was using this for. Memory keeping, I guess. Here's a list of things I want to do at some point. This was Christmas 2022. Again, we went to my dad's, so this will be catch up for my 5-year. More memory keeping, books I want to buy, potential A5 journal setup. Here's a potential menu. I don't know about anybody else. This is in July. I really struggle to cook in the summer months. If it's a kind of a stew, a big like one pot kind of thing, a roast dinner, a crumble, I'm your girl. Like, I can really cook for the wintry seasons. But for the summer, I really struggled. And I think we must have been having people over, because here I wrote out what I would make because I was just so confused. Oh yeah, I was doing salad with feta and watermelon, which is pretty much the only thing I can make in the summer months. Sequels that I wanted to read, that was something else. Music that I was listening to. Inks to buy. I was obviously feeling something there. M.R. James stories I want to read. Oh, this new word, tsundere, somebody who has a combative attitude towards others but is also kind on the inside. Quite like that idea. More new books, podcasts I want to listen to, books that I read that week. This is a quote from a book by David Gran called The Wager, where he goes through all these different phrases that we have and idioms like toe the line, pipe down, turn a blind eye, and he explains how they're all from shipping, which I thought was really cool, and sailing, so I've copied it in here. Podcast for getting a tattoo. This is Christmas last year, so there's my cousin catch up on the side, and here's my 5-year catch up. And then this year I used it as a planner for 2 weeks. I'm not really sure why I did that. I don't really remember what my thoughts were about that, but I did. And then here's what I'm using it for now. So this is this week. So there is a Hobonichi Weeks cover that I really want to get. I forget the name of the artist. I think it's been quite popular. It's sort of lavender with, I wish I could remember her name and I can't. Okay, I won't worry about it too much. I'm sure you know what I mean. It's lavender. I'll put it in the description box. Anyway, I want this cover, okay? And I don't think I want to use the weeks as a planner next year. So I'm sure you probably know Brontë Swannick, her channel. She uses her Hobonichi Weeks as a media journal. And I thought I would try doing that in here, media journaling, and see how I get on with it and ideas for spreads. And if it works, I will get that weeks. And if it doesn't work, I won't. So it's going okay so far. I would say I'm a little bit unsure still. I've only been doing it 3 days. So I'm a little bit unsure how I want to do it. But every day I've been sort of writing down the media that I was using. A lot of these are Courtney Diaz printables, this and this little Currently Monster. YouTube channels that I've been enjoying. There's a channel called Kimberly Rodriguez, and I think her stuff is great. If you haven't watched it, it's a really good channel. And then, here's about Sabrina Carpenter's new album and the songs that I like from it. So I've got 2 weeks left in here, and I will continue this for 2 weeks. And then, like I said, if it works, I will get that Hobonichi. If it doesn't work, I will not get that Hobonichi. Stand by for updates. And that's that. Both of these, the Leuchtturm and the Traveler's Notebook, they both fit in my Delphonics pouch together with the weeks. So that setup is still the same, although I moved all my pens into this little Superior Labour tool pouch, but they are all the same pens, I think. I don't think there's anything different. Maybe I added this gold pen, but that's it. Yeah, so that's my update on my Traveler's Notebook system. I will get back to you when things change, which they probably will at a certain point. I want to get back into my Darcy, this notebook here, my Darcy notebook with my Sterling ink notebooks in it. This is what I want to get back into, but as I said, I feel like there'll be too much stuff if I don't use up some things, if I don't focus in on some things, and then I can come back to this and kind of enjoy it with a happy heart. Does anybody else feel like that? Do you feel like you don't want to bring too much stuff in? And if you bring too much stuff in, you won't enjoy the things that you have? Or maybe that's just a me thing. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!